Let's do that again because it was muted.
Oh, Trinity, we were muted?
Now we're
Are we good? Am I screaming into the mic? I'm so sorry. I've just been so excited because we're back.
We are back.
We are finally back. It has been a couple months. A lot has gone on at Culture Media. We launched a new baseball show called Beyond the Box, but we had to put Valley Vision weekly shows on a little bit of a halt to get our feet under us, right, to be able to stand up. And I think we're in a good position because we're back. Woo! And you guys can see we've got a new face on Valley Vision today.
Whoa.
So this is I've talked about her a couple times on some of the shows and some of the interviews. This is Miss Trinity. She was our OG intern. She has learned so much so quickly that I said, you know what? I want you to produce the relaunch of Valley Vision. Lots to catch up on. Lots and lots to catch up on, and we'll kind of go into detail. You know, some things never change. I just keep playing with the mic. That has never changed. We'll go into detail about where we've been. I guess we'll just get that out the way right off the bat, and we'll circle back to it later. But Culture Media has undergone some internal changes. Anthony and I spoke on the Up and In show, kind of announced that I will be taking over Culture Media as a whole, still hosting Valley Vision, doing the interviews, co-hosting Beyond the Box, but I've taken over ownership of Culture Media, and I have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful team of about 10 girls that are bootstrapping this with me, that have given me so much time to learn graphics, editing, shooting, socials, all of it. Trinity is one of those girls. We've got two others in the studio. You can't see them, but Sydney and KT are here as well. And I just want to shout out everybody who has stuck by us throughout the past couple months when we've been all over the place. Content's been all over the place. We're learning as we're getting thrown into things. And everybody who's supported us throughout the changes. We would not be here without y'all. And I'm very, very excited about where this is going. This is a relaunch of Valley Vision. I think it only goes up from here. So stay tuned, stick around. But without further ado, we'll get right back into it because we have a lot to catch up on. First off, shout out to St. Rock Vodka. You already know. Some things are still here. They've been supporting us for months now, even through all the changes. They sponsor our Beyond the Box show. They still sponsor Valley Vision. Part of the proceeds of these bottles, because they are officially partnered with By Traditions, they are the official vodka of By Traditions, go back to the athletes, the LSU athletes, through NIL. So if you want to be able to support the athletes that you love to talk about, to watch, to support, this is a great way to do it. And not everybody can write a big boy check, so why don't you get yourself some good vodka while you do it, get to drink some, I think it's distilled 5 times, correct me if I'm wrong, but shout out to 7-3 Distilling for supporting Valley Vision and Culture Media for the past couple months, and hopefully moving forward. You ready to roll? You want to chat?
Oh, let me just say, my name is Trinity. I'm introducing myself. I have
ahead.
a voice, letting y'all know. But yeah, I'm so excited to be with Valley Vision. Been waiting for this moment. I was a gnat on the wall, a gnat on their face the whole time. I was trying. I was like, listen, I want to be with y'all, so I'm going to make sure y'all know I want to be with y'all. And I'm finally here.
You're here. Look, Trinity was knocking on the door for months, and so sorry. We've apologized so many times, but finally. It's finally happened. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the stream because I can't see the chat right now. I have a little iPad in front of me. Normally I have a laptop, but things have changed, right? Yeah. All right, we got football to talk about. We got baseball to talk about. We've got gymnastics to talk about, women's basketball. Y'all, we've been gone for a minute. There's a lot of stuff going on that we have to catch up on. So first off, LSU Football had their spring game. Hang on before I keep going.
Before we keep going, we should talk about basketball right now because people in the chat are
I can't see the chat. Yeah. Hold on.
Anthony wants to know where we're gonna get drafted, where Angel's gonna get drafted today. But I've been seeing a lot of talk about Chicago. So.
Ooh, Chicago. Is that a good fit?
I don't know. Maybe because she's like North type, Maryland type of beat. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I thought she was gonna go to Atlanta. I think Atlanta.
ATL?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull
No,
up
you're good.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little rusty here.
Yeah, I've been seeing. I think she's a great fit for Atlanta. The culture. I mean, Georgia people are like Louisiana people. There's no type of support like the South.
Where do y'all think? Okay, I mean, yeah, she's from Georgia, so she can say that. Has she commented about where she wants to be?
No, I don't think. But
I don't think so either, because she just came out last week and said she was going. Yep. No, 2 weeks ago. Oh, God, was that 2 weeks ago? When was the deadline? That was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. It was
last week.
Girl, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Okay, so we found out last week that she was going. We've got some. Also, look. Okay, first off, shout out Carl Dunn. Carl is an OG Culture Media Valley Vision up and in fan. Sweet, sweet, sweet guy who tells me hello every time he sees me, supports everything that we do. He's in the chat. He said, like The Rock, Valley Vision has come back to YouTube. Yes, we have. We're happy to be here.
That's so cute.
KT saying, I'd rather see her in ATL. Anthony saying he heard Chicago too. Dad, I don't know if you keep up with the WNBA, but he said the 7th pick. I don't know if he's just trolling in the chat. If you are not trolling in the chat, give us some feedback on why you say the 7th pick. Rashad said Angel should go number 2 to LA. Go ahead. KT, you're talking about her and Ryan Howard would be crazy, but Chicago. What are the odds? Can we pull up the odds? Can somebody pull up the odds on where she ends up?
But yeah,
KT.
I've been,
All right, Dad, you've been confirmed.
Definitely.
You know what you're talking about.
That is very, I've seen that consistently on L platforms, 7th pick, and then other people are saying, Chicago. Everyone's going
Chicago and ATL,
Chicago.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
we'll find out.
That goes 7:30 in about an hour. Yeah, we won't be live at that time, I don't think. But we'll make sure to have the content out so you guys know exactly what's going on with Angel Reese. We are going to circle back to Angel. The draft is tonight, but I do want to talk about her impact on women's sports. We haven't been here for a minute, and I know that's kind of old news. All of the media has been talking about it. We've talked about it a little bit on Beyond the Box, but we'll circle back to that. I do want to talk about football.
Yes.
LSU had a spring game this past Saturday. We actually got to talk to wide receiver Chris Hilton today. Y'all be on the lookout for that interview. It'll drop on Friday. He and I, what's the machine called?
I actually
Y'all know the machines, they put the football in and it shoots. Like the little wheel things. Okay, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Whatever. A football shooter. God. Women in sports.
Gotta love them.
But we did that. We caught some passes. I dropped one. It went right through my hands. It was really embarrassing, but it happened early and I fixed it and I didn't drop another one. I was really proud of that. And then something in me thought, let me challenge the guy who ran the second fastest 40 at the combine to a 40-yard dash. I did. We ran it twice. The first time I ran and then he ran and we just timed it. The second time we fully foot raced and I got smoked. And he looked like he didn't miss a beat. He just flowed. I was gassed for 10 minutes. I mean, after we left the facility, I was still trying to catch my breath. But it was a really good interview. You got to know Chris Hilton. We talked a lot about, how the offense is going to change, what the pressure in the receiver room is like, knowing that Malik and Brian are out, what it's like playing with 3 potential first-round draft picks. So we got a lot of good info out of Chris. We did talk about the spring game briefly. I told him to sum up the spring game. He said, good, fun, exciting. And I was like...
Man with little words.
Yeah, bro. Spill some tea. But we did our own digging. We got some tea on our own. Garrett Nussmeier, QB1, as of now. Rightfully so, because of how he performed in the spring game. He went 7 for 7, had 2 touchdowns, led all of the quarterbacks with 187 passing yards. Made a very clear case for himself to be QB1. Now, we talked about this last season. It's not a... I don't want to say a shoo-in, but it's pretty obvious that he'll start as QB1. AJ Swan didn't have a great day. And Nuss just looked kind of comfortable, took advantage of blown coverages. I think that's what we were talking about earlier. Are you on the NUS bus?
I'm not sure if I'm on the NUS bus, but I will say that Brian Kelly was talking about how he's like taking control of the locker room. Yep. He's earning the respect of the players. So he's following the right steps that a QB1 should be doing even before the season starts. He had that time, those 3 months during the summer, to gain their trust, to gain their respect.
Right.
And so that way you can lead the team where they need to be.
Well, and you're following a guy like Jaden Daniels, right? You have a Heisman quarterback to follow up on. Actually, Jaden Daniels kind of talked about that with Joe Burrow, and they asked him about pressure, and he said, dude, I was the quarterback at LSU after Joe Burrow. I know all about pressure, and I feel like in order to be the quarterback at LSU this year, you have to be able to handle pressure. You have to be able to step into that role, lead a team, earn the respect from the guys you're playing with. And I'm not saying that they don't respect him, but you have to prove yourself. And Garrett Nussmeier has been a question for a lot of people. You know, you saw glimpses of him, but there's always been a little doubt of like, okay, is he the guy? Like, can he come in and be QB1? Is that a possibility for him? So
I would like to hold on. And even QB1, but when the season starts, is he going to be able to handle the pressure of the new teams that are in the SEC right now? Because nobody has played against this defense.
Well, not just that, but like, can he handle the pressure, period? Because again, this is a new role for him. So that's added pressure, of course.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see how that plays out this season. But when I asked if you were on the hold on. We'll get to the chat. When I asked if you were on the NUS bus, you said you don't know. Yeah. We're talking about him stepping into this role, you know, earning respect, having I'd say he's come a long way, but are you on board? I told Brett yesterday, Brett's our producer for Beyond the Box, I told him, I think the bus is in front of me and the door's open, but I haven't taken the step on. And I'm not hating. You take a spring game and a spring game performance with a grain of salt. These are guys that you practice against every day. You know, granted, there's a little bit of a disadvantage to that too, because they know how you are. But you also know how the defense works and where their weak spots are. So is it a true tell sign of what he's going to be as QB1? No. But I think it was a promising little a little nugget for the fan base to be like, yeah, he did go 7 for 7.
You could definitely see the comfortability with the wide receivers in that quarterback connection. So, I mean, that's promising. That's something you can really tell in a spring game.
For sure. So Anthony asked, was Chris on the NUS bus? That's the real question.
Was he? Did we ask?
We didn't ask. No. We didn't. We talked about the offense and Sloan and Hankton being the new offensive coordinators. He spoke really highly of them and was pretty confident in the adjustments and how they played in the bowl game and how it's going to translate to next season. But did we specifically ask him if he was on the NUS bus? No, because I don't think we would have gotten a straightforward answer, to be honest. You asked him, like, we did a little social piece. You asked him what? BK or Coach O?
I asked him BK or Coach O. And he was like, I like them both. I said, they really got you PR trained, huh? And he was like, I like them both. And I was like,
he's got
fine.
to. No way you were getting that. On the defensive side, right? Okay, so we do have to talk about the defense because it was such a big topic last season and not for the right reasons. Now, BK ends the season and he's like, I'm over it. I'm done. Cleans house. Brings in the right guy. The defensive staff is stacked. You know, you're bringing coaches in that have been here before that get the culture that LSU tries to promote, and that is a huge part of being successful, especially at LSU, because the culture is so strong, and if you get it, you get it, and you see that success on the field. But there's a lot of work to do because it wasn't just the coaching. You didn't have the personnel. You didn't have the depth. You didn't have the experience, specifically in the secondary last year. So you do have to wonder, okay, is this a one-year turnaround where you can make that transition and you're back to DBU in a year because you brought all these coaches in? I don't know that it turns back into DBU. I think you see incredible
let's pause this moment right quick. Katera just said in the chat, Caitlin Clark just taken off the board, #1 to Indiana, like we expected.
As expected. So, yeah actually, we might be live. We might, because it's 7:30 there tonight. So we are going to be live.
Eastern time. Yeah, wow.
Okay, so cool.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
actually, we might get some viewers in here.
Yeah.
All right, so Caitlin Clark off the board. That was pretty... I don't think anybody's surprised.
No.
She's goated. You'd be really stupid to pass her up, honestly. I'm checking the chat. Oh.
Your dad's going crazy with the stats.
Joe and Jalen both made incredible leaps between year 1 and 2. Oh, Jaden. You meant Jaden. At LSU. Nuss has had 2 years and ready to grow. Lower expectations, though. I mean, you're not wrong. So, yeah, you look at Joe Burrow, and we'll get back to the defense in a second, but it's a good point. Joe and Jaden both did make turnaround seasons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because he's junior year, so he has his senior year, and he was redshirted as well. So, we'll see, like, how much he can improve. We all LSU fans want to see that, oh, you're great. This is what has been in our back pocket the whole time. So, they're going to be hard on him because it's LSU. The fans are insane.
The culture here.
Yeah, that is the culture here. So, like, the pressure is on for him, but at the same time, fans have to sit back and remember, this is his first time playing against these teams. It's his first time under pressure. So, I mean, we can give him those 2 years, but I'm pretty sure LSU fans, if he doesn't make a scene, if he doesn't make his moment out there, he's gonna get off. People are gonna exit the bus real quickly. Yeah,
well, them bringing in AJ Swan, I think, lit a fire under his ass, to be honest. And y'all make good points for sure. The bar is high, considering the season that the offense just came off of and a Heisman quarterback, but the expectations for Nuss are not. There's not, like, super high expectations for him. So he's kind of in a position to prove himself and to kind of have a chip on his shoulder and be like, what the F is up? Yeah. Like, watch this. Yeah. And if he put in the work, then he'll get there.
Lil Baby has said in his own words, got something to prove.
He's got something to prove. But going back to the defense, I don't think you see that, like, just a 180 completely. You're still going to struggle with some of the same. You still got a lot of the same guys on the team. There's work to be done in recruiting. Brian Kelly said it. You put a quote in here. He talked after the spring game. He said, "You also saw things that we have to get better at. We can't let the ball over our head. We had some coverage mistakes. Those can't continue to happen. We have to continue to evaluate and recruit at the defensive tackle position. That's a must." So you've still got time to do the recruiting. It's going to be mostly on the defensive side of things. And you are still going to run into some of those same issues, the coverages, the blown coverages. I mean, if I had $1.
28 points allowed per game.
Yeah, we know that the defense was the trending topic last year. It wasn't up to LSU standards. At one point, like, we were shocked for a couple games, and then after that, it was just the norm. Another sport might be going through that right now. We'll get there. And it's disappointing. But I'm behind Brian Kelly with the way that he cleaned house, got the staff, is doubling down and saying, we got to go get a DT. That's got to happen. I know it's got to happen. I'm telling the media that it's got to happen. So now it's, like, locked in. I can't go back on my word. So recruiting a defensive tackle because you lost some guys to the draft, or you will lose some guys to the draft. The draft's in 2 weeks. Yeah. And then fixing the freaking secondary. It's early. Yeah. We have a lot of time. You have a whole summer. Football season isn't for a couple months. But just a little glimpse. Of course, you put Perkins' stats in here. 3 tackles and a sack for a 2-yard loss. I am excited to see how he's used this year because he was not used correctly last year. You put him in the right schemes, and I think we see a monster come out again. Yeah. He had a lot of expectations last year, but he wasn't set up to meet those expectations. Yeah. It was, again, everything I'm saying we talked about during football season. You saw it in every media outlet. So it's not news to anybody. Looking at the chat, Carl Dunn, Nuss has the arm, but not as fast on foot. Look for Collins to be QB2. I think I did see that.
Ricky Collins,
yep, we read that. Yeah, so that is going to be a difference on the way that the offense rolls this year, because you did have a mobile, versatile quarterback last year. And you're
scary at some points. But.
Yeah, I know. He was so freaking ready to get injured for whatever reason. Okay, that's enough for football for right now. KT, you want to give us an update on the draft? Did we miss anything notable? The Lakers.
Okay.
The pick is in, but they have not provided who they are taking.
Okay, so we're waiting on 2. Okay, baseball.
Sigh.
I hate to be dramatic, but I don't think I'm being dramatic anymore. Baseball.
Yep. Take a moment of silence.
The thoughts in my head right now, I don't know if I can say on camera. We've said a lot on camera. Like I said, we do have an LSU baseball show. It's called Beyond the Box. We do it after midweeks at Don Juan, so we'll be at Don Juan tomorrow. Anthony is out of town, but he will zoom in, and we'll recap LSU versus UNO. Hopefully it's a win. God forbid they lose another midweek. And then we do it on Sundays or sometimes Saturdays at Modesto. Same thing, recapping the series. So we were there. Is today Monday? Yeah. We were there yesterday, recapping that Tennessee sweep. LSU is 3-12 in the SEC.
Wow.
It has been, and if I recall, I think Carl, you said it yesterday, somebody said it in the chat yesterday, 1974, that LSU hasn't had this bad of a start to the SEC since 1974. It is quite the fall off for a team, or not a team, because this is not the same team, but for a program that's coming off a natty win to be in the bottom of the SEC. As of now, they are not making the SEC tournament because the last 2 teams in the SEC do not qualify. And right now, Auburn and LSU are sitting right at the bottom, which is not normal for LSU baseball. I'm not going to rehash everything. I'll just recap. Again, 3-12 in the SEC, coming off a sweep. They got swept against Tennessee this past weekend. Now, granted, Tennessee ranked 4th. You're dealing with a team that's trying to find a rhythm, trying to find a leader, trying to find what works. Jay Johnson switched up the pitching rotation this weekend. That is the one thing, and again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because if you want to know what we really think, you can check out Beyond the Box. 1977. So 1977, they haven't had this bad of an SEC start since 1977. Thank you, Carl, for correcting me. But I think what really, we were kind of putting feelers out, and it's like, is it time to actually question Jay Johnson? He's a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the country. I don't want to question him. I don't want to question him when you're playing small ball in the SEC and West Coast baseball, and you're slowing down the games, and you're making pitching changes way often. The one thing that happened this past weekend that both Anthony and I were both like, okay, what now? Yeah, I'm going to verbally say, what are you doing? Jay Johnson moves Luke Holman out of the Friday night spot and puts Gage Jump. Gage Jump is great. He's been doing wonderfully on Saturdays, okay? But Luke Holman has been nailing it on Fridays. That is a fired up start to the weekend. And if you've heard me and Anthony talk about it, Anthony was a Friday night guy, so he understands the importance of that role and how you light the fire and get the momentum started. And you really need a Friday night guy that does that. Luke Holman was doing that. So why you move the one stable piece of your team right now does not make sense. I am not a D1 baseball coach, okay? I'm not an expert. This is my opinion. But I feel like a lot of people have the same opinions, and it's pretty fair to question that. I don't know if it was okay, let's see if Gage can be the Friday night guy and Luke can carry that momentum into Saturday, and maybe we pull it out on Sunday too. Clearly, it didn't work. I'm going to get off my soapbox because I can feel myself getting really ramped up. I kind of got ramped up yesterday at Modesto. Anthony was definitely fired up yesterday. So if you want to hear what we think about LSU baseball right now, you should go check out yesterday's show. or any of the previous shows. That show is also not just like analyzation of this year's team.
We get all the tea.
Yeah.
From past year 2009 teams, from Jared Foster, from Paul Maneri. Everybody has great stories from Paul Maneri. And when they do his voice, spot on every single time.
I know. So the premise of Beyond the Box, we analyze this year's team, but we have former players and coaches come on and talk about this year's team as well, but more so share stories that you may never have heard. And it's gotten PG-13 a couple times. The episode with Ryan Verdugo, Anthony and Ryan, best friends, live together, started getting off the rails, had to reel them back in. Great content, though. We've had Clay Moffitt, Paul Maneri, Ronnie Rance, Jared Foster was on yesterday, Cade Beloso, so Mikhail Hilliard. We've had a lot of guys come through, tell stories. So it's a fun show. And yesterday did get a little heated. Jared Foster was just keeping the cool for me and Anthony.
Carl Dunn said, bring from Stanford to Sparks.
Oh, you saw it? Okay. So we've got 1 and 2 off the board. Clark and Brink. All right, Chicago. Is this going to happen? Okay, we'll keep talking, but you have to be on, point if Angel goes to Chicago.
Since we're on the topic,
I want a real-time reaction.
Yeah.
Actually, if Angel goes to Chicago, I'm going to pull you up here and have you talk into this mic. Or you can lean into Trinity's mic and give your reaction. No, KT's our basketball girl. She's all into it, so I want a real-time reaction. Okay, let's switch.
Back to the topic of women, right?
Yeah. Yes, back to the topic of women's sports who are killing it. Gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
We are witnessing greatness, y'all. And by greatness, yes, the team, but also Haley freaking Bryant, dude. Wow. I made a video a couple weeks ago literally trying to list off all of her accolades, and I couldn't do it in the time that it gave me. It is, if you're bored, I don't know why you would want to do this while you're bored, but just for shits and giggles, go to LSU's website and look at her list of accolades. Yeah. It looks like it's made up. Like somebody hacked LSU and was like, no, it's for real. You put on here 14th gymnast in NCAA history to have a gym slam. She holds multiple records. The team this year holds a couple records. They are definitely doing something different. And I recall Kaya Johnson, sweet angel. She is so wonderful. She came on Up and In a couple months ago, and then we did an interview for Valley Vision with her. Talked about, she tore her Achilles last year, how she's come back from it, and she's doing incredibly well. And she talked about, their team goals. And I remember asking her in the facility, where do y'all want to be?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, SECs are in New Orleans, so that's what we want to do. They have exceeded that. They are ranked second in the country. They are on their way to the semifinals this weekend.
Yep. Actually, I think it's 2 days. I think it's April 17th.
What's today?
Is it April 17th?
Oh, it's during the week, huh?
Yeah.
I'd ask Claire, but Claire's not here. Yeah. The Final Four. Yeah. It starts in the middle of the week. That's right.
Honestly, what I really love about LSU Gymnastics is how humble they are. They set realistic goals at the same time. All of them are phenomenal, but at this, they're so humbled. And I know that Clark really, pushes them to not only work for themselves, but work for their team. And I think that's what really keeps them grounded, because it's bigger than just them. It's bigger than what they want for themselves. It's what they want for the program.
Yeah, I will say that every presser I've been in, and every, that you're spot on, and it's so genuine. Jay Clark is a great coach. He's a great person. He's so personable. He leads those girls with respect, and he really leads by example on humility and, 1% better every day, and being the team mentality kind of thing. And I think that's a big part of why they are where they are, because he hones in on the little things and consistently preaches, just focus on being you.
Yep.
You're enough. The muscle memory is there. The confidence is there. Why are we making faces?
South Carolina, Yep.
Woo!
Wow.
So not Chicago. So, Dad, are you right? Is she going 7?
Whoa.
T. Why T?
No. Will they be? Wait, because, they did have that big brawl. So my thing is, how are they going to be teammates? Do you think they can put that behind them? Because when they played each other in the SEC tournament in Greenville.
That's an interesting.
How?
Okay, well, let's talk about this. This is actually, as the NFL draft is coming up too, as the front office, that's something you do have to consider. Mm-hmm. And I know we talk a lot about skill and how they fit with like schemes and like the team and that kind of thing. But like, if you're going to draft 2 players that clearly have beef,
yep,
you have to have a plan on how you're going to knock that shit out. Or as those players, you have to be willing to put it behind you and go be a professional athlete.
Yep.
That is really interesting to think about. And the reason I bring up the NFL draft, we're talking about Jaden Daniels and where he's going to be drafted. And by the way, Chris Hilton gave us his predictions. He believes Jaden is going to Washington. Maybe he gave us some inside scoop. He believes Jaden is going to Washington. Brian is going to the Bills and Malik is going to the Chargers. That's what he said.
Yeah, I've seen some like
the mock
jersey
drafts,
swaps and Jaden in Washington. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of looks good in red.
Yeah, I think he does end up in Washington, but there's a conversation about, is Caleb gonna go number 1 overall because of the ego and because now the media likes to run with things, but there's a lot of questions about character with him. So like decisions like that are very much living rent-free in the minds of these front office personnel for these teams. So if they're going to take her, are they going to make the decision of risking, we know they have beef, we think we can knock it out, or is it like, we don't want to risk it, we don't want conflict in the organization, we don't want to mess up the culture, whatever. Yeah. I mean, we're going to find out in a few minutes.
Very soon.
But that is really interesting to.
Your dad said he hopes JD escapes Washington.
Don't we all? Because Washington is a black hole. As somebody who covered the NFL for a year, that is not somewhere we really want Jaden Daniels.
No.
And it's not just because of what happens on the field. They can't figure it out for the life of them. The ownership, I'm not even going to get into it. There's drama over there. So, yeah, JD5 to anywhere but.
Yeah.
The freaking Commanders. Okay. Oh, gymnastics. ADHD.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah. So they'll be competing in the Final Four this week.
Fun fact. I think.
Fun fact.
Okay.
We love fun facts.
Yes. So, my friend, she actually is an athletic trainer for Alabama Gymnastics, and in their session, I believe they're going against Oklahoma, Ohio. In their session, I want to say there's like 24 national championships in that one session, and in LSU sessions, there is none. So, like,
I'd be kind of pissed.
Yeah,
honestly.
But it's just like, how do you think that's gonna change the mindset of how they compete? Do you think it's gonna make them want to go harder or like tone it back a little bit?
Who, LSU?
Yeah.
No. I don't think this is not a team that plays down. Competes down.
Yeah.
I think that is another thing that Jay Clark has been very adamant about. Of again, doing you. It doesn't matter if you're competing against a team that's better. It doesn't matter if you're competing against a team that's worse. You focus on you, trust what you can do, give your best effort, and let things fall as they may. So, fair question. Yeah. Because when you look at the competition in both, it seems like it might be a little bit of a no-brainer to think that, okay, that one's going to be way harder than our session, but I don't think that is in the vocabulary / mentality of this year's team to even think about taking a foot off the gas, especially because of how well they're doing, how it's Haley Bryant's it's like storybook feel, right? So I think that's enough to be like all gas, no brakes.
Even to bring like all gas, no brakes up, this team has always made it to the Final Four, always made it to the semifinals. They just never can get over that hump. Just like LSU softball, they can never finish. So, like, I think since a lot of them are just at that moment, I feel like they're all pissed off at this point. Gracefully pissed off.
Yeah.
I think this is the year for them. I honestly think this is, call me biased, but I think they deserve it, honestly.
Like I said, it kind of feels storybook. Eventually, like if you keep going, you keep knocking, something's going to fall. And they're putting in the work. Again, they had an incredible season. And it feels storybook. Yeah. You have Kaya coming back off of an injury. She didn't know if she was going to compete again. You've got Haley Bryant finishing out her career, records on awards, and just it's unbelievable, truly. You have a team that just, they mesh well. And a coach that you want to get behind. And it feels storybook. I don't think, and what's the stat? It'll be their 10th?
Yeah, if they make it to the Final Four, it'll be their 10th.
Yeah.
Last year was their 9th.
Can they get over the hump? I think it happens. Actually, I'm sure you can bet on it. You can freaking bet on everything. Yeah. I'd bet on it. I think there's enough fire they've got. Yeah. Where are we at with the draft? I kind of want to stay here until Angel gets drafted. But I don't know how long this is going to take.
Hey, while we were waiting for Angel to get drafted, let's just talk about Valley Vision. Okay. What's the new goals? What are we expecting? I mean, we've been gone for 2 months.
Okay, so I kind of gave y'all a little bit of an overview over like what's been going on the past 2 months. As far as expectations, we are going to be going live at 5 on Mondays. Now, granted, today we didn't go live until 6:30, but that is because this is the first time we're going live with new equipment in a new studio. We are no longer in Cards and Culture. We are still partnered with Cards and Culture, but we have our own studio downtown. So things are getting legit, you know. We're growing. We have a team now. There's going to be a lot more social content. That the interactive interviews are just going to keep getting better and better. We've got Chris Hilton dropping on Friday. We doubled up today. I'll expose myself. You can't tell in the interviews because I changed clothes, but I definitely went back to back on interviews. We did one with Emily Meyer from beach volleyball. She and I played high school ball together, won a couple state championships. But the interactive interviews are going to be around still. We've got 2 on-site live shows, and our goal is to keep growing this brand to where we are super, super connected with the community. And we do shows in studio, and we do the interviews, but y'all know we do the vlogs. We did them during football season. Those hopefully are coming back. And being in the community with you guys and having shows to where you guys can ask questions and feel like you're involved. And we actually had a fan come on Beyond the Box 2 weeks ago, and it's that kind of stuff. And the whole purpose behind Valley Vision is to give you a different perspective, more access to these athletes, to LSU Sports, to a community that, you know, wants to see another side of the kids that they support. And I think we're doing a good job of that. I think I kind of explained where we've been, just kind of sorting out the details of what this looks like and launching new shows. And I believe I teased it a couple months ago of, you know, we have our first sports-specific show with Beyond the Box, but the goal down the line is for this to grow and Valley Vision be a brand and have multiple sports-specific shows under it. Maybe led by former athletes. Like when we talked to Kaya said she was interested in sports media, and you know, her season ends April 16th or whatever it is. Not 16th. Well, she thought it was the 16th, but now it's not ending on the 16th. However, but we talked to her like, hey, would you want to do a gym show? And like, could you imagine the access and the stories she's got? Yeah. Like, bringing y'all a different view and like just more access. So that's where we want to go. We have a long way to go, and we definitely need the support to get there. But I'm, again, very, very excited for where this is going and what is ahead of us. We're in the early stages, but I'm pumped. I think
we have a question. Thoughts on HVL hitting the portal? I think she did a good job. I don't think she was going to...
Ooh, that's actually... we haven't really talked about that.
I don't think she was going to grow even more here. I think she realized that that position she was playing, her position, I think it's a good thing that she entered the portal, and not because she wasn't really fitting the LSU standard. But
not the standard.
But like the expectation. She didn't fit.
You can say that. It's not. That's why she entered the portal.
Yeah.
Like she just didn't. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. Her numbers were down after, like, you look at her numbers from Louisville and then look at them from this year. Completely different player. Now that comes with a position change and a completely different team, right? You've got a lot of big personalities on this team, and we've talked about this so many times about how it took them a minute to get over the adversity and to find that chemistry, because there were so many skilled players. Like, it was hard to figure out the fit and find the flow. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't know that she ever did. Yeah. You saw it from Angel and Anissa. God, I'm so excited to see Anissa Morrow next year. I think, not that I'm like super pumped that
Anissa. Yeah. It was as soon as you said
well,
it.
That's what I'm about to say. So KT asked who becomes the face next season. I think it's Anissa. And that's not to say I'm excited that Angel's leaving or Haley left. Like, they were both big parts of the LSU women's basketball culture. Angel more so than Haley, but Haley still had a part of it, and she's got huge brand deals and, you know, what she's doing for the game as well. She didn't stay here, but she did play a part in LSU women's basketball culture. Not that I'm excited that they're leaving, but I'm excited to see Anissa step up, Michaela step up. You're still going to get the same thing from Flage. She continues to get better and better each year. Kim Mulkey has talked about the way that she evolves every season, and as she gets older, I think you're going to see more from her. But we did an interview with, and it was actually the first ever Valley Vision Interactive with Anissa, and the confidence that just freaking exudes off of her. Like, you can feel it, and it's not the fake cocky confident. It's the, I know who I am, I'm secure in my abilities, and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to have to I don't need to prove anything. You're just going to see it. Yeah, and I love women like that. Holy hell, like, you need to be leading this team for sure. So I think she stepped up. Ooh, one more pick, and we'll see if Angel's going.
Why am I nervous? Butterflies.
But yeah, I think it's Anissa next year that steps up. She has some big goals for herself. I think she told me she wants the school steal record, a single game steal record, some All-American stuff, and she works her ass off. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's Anissa. I think you see Michaela Williams transform as well, because remember, she's a freshman. That good, just so smooth, so skilled. Her and Anissa, some of the best players in the country. I think you're going to see Anissa step up, and you're going to see Michaela really improve over the next season. Oh, we got some chat talk about HVL.
Yeah, her visit to Mississippi State was shocking. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, no way she is not doing that. But I really don't think the SEC fits her.
I was going to say, does she fit the SEC?
I don't think so. I really do not think so.
Big 12 sounds about right, but like I don't know that leaving LSU and going to another SEC school is it.
No, I don't think that's. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the politics behind it all, but I do know that this one is not the right choice. I don't think she's gonna see that growth she wants for this extra year she's taking in a SEC pool. Like, I think she needs to go somewhere else, respectfully. I can't see her grow even more. I think they're going to still do what happened at LSU. I don't know. It depends on how her and the coaches are handling things.
Y'all think she regrets leaving Louisville?
Probably, yeah. 100%.
I do want to see her succeed. Like, yes. I really do. I
think she's a phenomenal, but
it just didn't fit here.
Yeah, at
That's
all.
it. And I don't know that the SEC is it. Yeah, honest to God, I hope she does go SEC, improves, and makes us like look back at this and be like, damn, what were we talking about? But I just don't know. Let's ask in the chat because Angel could be going off the board. Type Y for yes. She gets picked next. Type N for no. If she stays on the board, y'all better type fast because it could happen any second now. While we're waiting, I am going to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. The more subs we have, the more content we can put out. It goes a long way. It might seem like a simple little task, but it helps us out a huge amount. Subscribing, even liking the video, chatting with us. We always appreciate you guys chatting. All of that does a load for us. So please.
Aaliyah Edwards goes 6 to Washington.
Where are we going? What's happening? Woo! 7. Who's got pick 7?
Chicago.
Yep. I think that's.
Well.
Here we go. Is Chicago going to make this move?
They traded up with Minnesota. So.
They did trade up, but like, is she going to Chicago? Y for yes, N for no. Type it now. I'm going to type. I'm on Up and In's account. Dad, you're saying, wait, time out. Dad, earlier you said she was going 7th, and now you're saying no. Pick a side, dude. Okay, so everybody's saying yeah. You're the only one, Dad, that said no. Maybe you thought I meant 6. 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes. We're going to stay live, and then we'll wrap up. But, okay, everybody's saying yes. Carl Dunn, yes. KT, yes. Trinity, yes. Sydney, yes. I might as well just add my little Y, too. I'm on Up and In's account. It was an accident. I don't know. So, y'all, we got so many shows that just get logged into random accounts.
No, you're
nope, don't know. No. See, I know this game, Dad. I know what you're doing here. Oh, you were set on Minnesota.
Well, Minnesota's after this.
What if he's on to something, bro? What if he knows? You don't know. Just quit playing.
Mr. Kurt.
I think you're just trying to start an argument in the chat. That'll help, though. Kurt and Cardoso are going to be teammates. Is that a good idea?
I don't know.
Y'all, they have, like, for real beef. And maybe it's just, like, competitive nature of, like, playing because you got to respect the passion and the physicality. But, like,
can they turn that passion?
Those are 2 really big personalities that you're going to put on a professional team as rookies. Like, that's a bold move. So, you know what, Dad? Maybe you're right. I don't know, though. Most mock drafts have her going right now.
The kissy emoji.
Thanks, Dad. Love you.
If she goes right here, it's an interesting
How many seconds?
Are we going to be excited if she goes, or are we going to be like...
I'm a bit both. Like,
if she doesn't.
Yeah,
Does this look familiar? Like, why do I feel like I'm having deja vu? We did some research, and it's because for LSU Glam Day, she had a dress with a hood. So maybe she was foreshadowing. You know how the celebrities be dressing for, like...
Yeah, there's always a purpose.
Yeah. So maybe her dress before the season, it was a black hooded dress, and now it's a silver hooded dress. And maybe there's some meaning behind that. But yeah, there's your Tiger T.
Wait, my question is,
if it was fire,
wherever she goes, is she going to become like that Barbie? Or is she forever be Bayou Barbie?
That's not going anywhere because I think it's literally trademarked and like there's money.
Well, I thought they tried to get a trademark and it couldn't. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, but I'm saying like that's like iconic. Like that's not just going to be left. Like she's going to go down in history books and like when she comes back to visit LSU years down the line, like that's still going to stick. I think it truly depends, 1, where she goes, 2, how she does.
Yeah.
Because if she does well, then they're going to play off that name, kind of like they did with Joe Burrow and all his little nicknames.
What do you think about, like, what if she chose to stay? How do you think that would have looked for LSU? Do you think that she probably would have performed as well, still in the college environment?
Our girl's going to Chicago.
She's got. Oh my God! They got both of them. Bro, they grabbed both.
We've got our girl. Her and Camilla in Chicago. I just want to say
You got a little excited.
I got way too excited. That did not just happen on air. Okay, so we are in a new studio. We hung the shelves today.
What?
It's because I stood up. I got excited. Can I fix it now? Like,
yeah.
Okay, well,
it's fine. We're fine.
I hope that's not foreshadowing for what's about to happen in Chicago.
Oh my gosh.
Because what you said is Chicago could be building something, and think about having both of them there, power players. If you can, that's it. If you can get them to kind of like join sides, like that duo is crazy.
Honestly,
but can you get them to be on the same page?
They have the money to both send them. They might do couples therapy. Honestly, you know, they're gonna put them. I feel like they're gonna put them in a room and tell them to fix their crap. Yeah, like listen, y'all. We're on the same team now. It's time for y'all to get y'all's act together, or you can.
Carl, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Going back to what you were saying, yo, I feel really weird that this shelf is just on the ground and Tommy White is just.
Tommy White's literally screaming, "Help me!"
How did this happen? I don't understand. Like, you know why? Because I shot my chair back when she went to Chicago. Like, we didn't expect her to go to Chicago.
Okay, here we go. It's backward. It's back. Okay. Here we go.
We got to get all the angles here.
Hey, I preach transparency here, so.
This is very transparent. Oh, we're being transparent.
We're not going to pretend to be perfect.
Because nobody's
These things
perfect.
happen. I mean, entertaining for sure. Okay, so there you have it. Angel Reese to Chicago. She will start her professional career with Camilla, which.
Wow. You know,
we're gonna have to keep up with this and see what happens. Dad, you were wrong. I just want to let you know.
Kissy face.
Good try though. Okay, so let's round it out. This has actually been probably one of the longest Valley Visions, rightfully so. We had a lot to catch up on. So you guys, we will be back again Mondays live at 5, and as we grow, we might be back a little bit more. But Trinity, I know you kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more of a sentimental, meaningful side of things as we're breaking the studio already. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to explain. I know earlier when we were doing the little preview about how like just being able to, I was the gnat on the wall. I was the gnat on their faces. I was continuously like coming at them. And I want to say it's because Anthony talked to my class. It was Chad Sabady's class. And hearing about how his perspective of sports and really not just doing game coverage and doing game raps, that's what really like made me, hey, this is where I want to work, because it's more than the team. It's more than the sports. It's more than the program. It's about the individuals that make up the program. And that's something I really want for myself as a reporter, for myself in life, is to build on those connections with people. I think that's what we're really losing in the world. And being a part of Valley Vision, being a part of culture media, someone that this team, we want people to understand that these athletes are people. Yes, we make bets on them. Yes, we get mad at them. But at the end of the day, they wake up in a bed, they put on socks, they brush their teeth.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we as Valley Vision make sure that people know that. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're doing. And that is why I love being a part of this team.
You couldn't have said it better. That's exactly. Y'all, I cannot. Y'all are distracting. Exactly what we're doing here. And that's, you talk about purpose, and that's the purpose that we want to serve. We want to do it differently. We want to build media that is more connecting and is more personable and in line with exactly what you just said. Yeah. You know,
it's
sharing
a leap of faith for sure.
And like having fun with the sports. Like athletes know that they're going to feel it when good things happen. They're going to feel it when bad things happen. That's part of what you sign up for when you decide you want to be an athlete in college or professionally. But, you know, at the end of the day, again, connecting as people is important, even in sports media. So that's what we're trying to do. Any other thoughts?
No.
Good to go? Good to go. All right, I just rewatched the clip of the shelf falling, so we definitely absolutely 100% have to clip that.
Yep.
Because the whole Chicago clip. Actually, I might do it like right now. Because we're talking about Angel Reese and stuff, and we can be like, is that an omen of her and Cardoza on the same team? Anyway, okay, this felt so good to be back. I've been excited all day. Even just walking into the new studio, granted, trying not to break things, but and having a team now felt really good. And I am very thankful for everybody who has joined the team, been on the team, helped the team, supported the team, all of it. Valley Vision is definitely going places. So we will be back. Beyond the Box, we stream on the same channel. So we're going to go live tomorrow around 8:30 at Don Juan. If you don't want to watch on YouTube, you're in Baton Rouge, swing by Don Juan. They have great cigars, good drinks, good food. Come hang out and maybe ask some questions from like a live audience kind of feel.
Thank you, Carl Dunn. Tomorrow. He said culture media is fire.
Who said that?
Our number one
Carl,
supporter.
We love you, Carl. We got to get him some gear. Yeah, but y'all be on the lookout for a whole bunch of content headed y'all's way. All kinds. We've got sports shows. We've got Beyond the Box. We've got TikToks. We've got rapid fire interviews. We've got interactive interviews. We're doing all of it, okay? So make sure y'all subscribe, follow, like, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all soon. I don't know if Trinity knows how to end it. Yeah?
Wait.